Aloha mai kākou, a Kamamaita curtain call from a distance, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown, and I'm coming to you from my home office, where I have been conscientiously practicing self-isolation. Creative Lab Hawaii was founded by our own Georgia Skinner in 2012 as part of the state's economic development mantra of empowering local creatives in business. Ms. Skinner, who is the chief officer of the state's Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism Creative Industries Division, told me in an email, quote, "It's modeled after a tech accelerator and provides an economic development framework for media and music industry expansion in the state, founded on our greatest asset, our local creative community." After watching this steady stream of hopeful students moving from middle school, high school to college, excited to be a media maker, artist, I learned that the questions from students and professionals in music or media lacked the opportunities to connect with the decision makers in these areas to advance their careers. Also, the limited business skills being taught in an education environment in the arts provided fertile ground to complement the educational framework. I founded Creative Lab Hawaii to empower local creatives to one, hone their craft, and two, acquire the business acumen necessary to navigate the global media and entertainment industry landscape, and three, to build a career. A passion of mine since we had no film schools in Hawaii has been to mentor storytellers in all mediums. We have wanted to mount the Playwrights program for years. Partnering with the Dramatists Guild, Hawaii Theater Council, and others has been a wonderful platform to launch new voices just when they are needed most. I applaud Michael Andres Palmieri, our executive director, a seasoned producer, writer, and humanist. The man is a wonder, along with a stellar lineup of coaches who mentored the playwrights. Unquote. Recently, Maui's own Lynn McEWAN, executive director of PROARTS Playhouse, participated along with 5 other playwrights in a joint play presentation. Each playwright was given the task of coming up with a 10-minute play. Amazingly, all of the playwrights were successful in fulfilling the task. So what we got were the equivalent of 6 short stories. Charles, by Jesse Wren Marshall, is a parable for our time. It is about a computer-generated companion named Charles, Kiona Kelly, and his frustrated friend, identified as woman Anne Marge, Kahana Ho, who speaks like she is from the 19th century.
But her letters! She could pierce the human heart with the sharpness of her pen and paint a landscape with upon the white spaces of a poem. Her words became a window through which I could spy her mind, just as a child might spy a garden through a keyhole.
One thing that wasn't clear was her age. She felt much older than Ms. Ho was playing her, especially when she gets the call from her nephew, Mark Brandon Cabone, who explains to her what Charles is.
And Charles isn't a real person, right? It's a smart program that adjusts to your needs. A companion, helper, acquisition, recall, listening, and electronic servant. Charles. It uses your feedback to become a better friend.
It's as if she were in costume when she was talking to Charles initially, but the playwright, Ms. Marshall, has captured the frustration we all felt when trying to get our devices to do as we say. Here are a few examples.
Called Wing Dings.
There are 3 restaurants in your area that offer wings.
After I married, I spent most of the year in Cornwall.
The city of Cornwall is 676 or 420 miles from the city of York.
It became impossible for her to bear children.
Bear children are called cubs. Goat children are called kids.
You malodorous defecation. I am describing my sister, not animals, damn it.
It sounds like you want to watch Animal Planet.
It made me laugh out loud, and it was very well suited to the Zoom medium. Lee Cataluna met the challenge by addressing our current COVID situation. Carl Desmond Gilla tries to seduce his way into the domicile of Jadine Maki'ile Ishihara. She clearly is having none of it and we see both sides of the door.
Why are you being like this?
I don't want the Rona.
I don't have the Rona.
You don't know that.
Well, if I do have the Rona, you probably have it too. We were together last week.
Early last week, and since then you've been out and about. You've been exposed.
I always wear protection.
I got a 10-month-old asleep on a couch right now that proves that statement untrue.
Super Spreader was made for the medium. Lynn McCune had Beth Bornstein Dunnington as the director, and this piece was the most polished. The actors Melinda Pollitt as Lily and Becca Barrett as Mel were so well prepared. We learned in the Q&A that they were rehearsed for 6 hours, and it shows. Ha means humble or humility. This work by Ms. McEwen starts out as a regularly scheduled Zoom conversation with two sisters and their dad. We learn Dad cannot make it, so the two sisters chat. As they chat, the conversation gets deeper and deeper, delving into sexuality and identity, all in 10 minutes. Ms. McEwen's voice is so strong that those of us who know her will be shocked that if we closed our eyes when Mel is speaking, we would swear it was Ms. McEwen.
What is?
The changes.
What do you mean, the changes?
Look at it this way. Change is the only certain thing in life. And we're always evolving. Individuals, people as a whole. Sometimes I think it's 5 steps forward and 4 steps back, but still, it's change. And we can never know anything for sure or completely. So if we're always working to get better, why shouldn't we be doing the same to try to phrase things to include people or at least hurt people less?
This was another play that was perfectly suited to the medium. Playwright Ryan Okinaka chose to present a morality fable for his 10 minutes. Sanctuary was the most complex show in the program. It featured multiple colorful settings, protagonists who were morally corrupt, violence, spousal abuse, and mendacity on a high level. It also had the largest cast, with 5 actors playing 8 parts. Michael, Zach Harris, and Elizabeth, Aliyah Qureshi Longi, are fugitives. They live in a fantastic place. There is a sanctuary where if you get there, all your sins will be forgiven, and you can live a happy, carefree life. They are being pursued and are desperate to get to the sanctuary.
You're criminals!
Wrongfully accused.
What crimes have you been accused of?
That is our business. Upon reaching the sanctuary will be results of our transgressions, and the nature of our alleged crimes will be forgiven. Such is the tradition.
You're right. Such is the tradition.
A cacophony of steel swords and oaths echo through the garden.
This way, men!
Someone is coming!
The judge and his warriors, please, you must help us.
You are being hunted! Only the most serious of transgressions would warrant such a thing.
My child, he is holy and innocent. By refusing to help us, you would convict this child to death.
And by helping you, I would be equally guilty of the crimes that you have committed.
Please, help my family. I beg you.
The question the playwright poses is, what is more important, morality or survival? Sean Dunnington's piece, Fourth Wall, which was about 2 high school boyfriends, Howie, Jose Ver, and Keiko, Michael Lavelle, who meet regularly to play a game with virtual backgrounds and end up in outer space. I don't like to criticize work for technical problems, but the sound when Zoom and that Aranex was on made it exceptionally difficult to discern what she was saying.
We're waiting.
For freedom.
No more nothing.
Because in space, there's everything. Everything that's not there yet, everything that's yet to come, everything we need to be free. And really free, not the simulated kind that you think you have just because you're alive. The real, pure, fresh kind.
Also, director Jasmine Fernandez casting would have been more believable if the roles were switched. Finally, we come to Sean Joseph Chu's For Duque, another gay-themed work where producer and boyfriend Zani, Chris Alderette, is trying to get his client, musician and singer, first-time actor Neil Yukimura, to finish a song.
Dookie. How? When?
Holo doesn't answer.
Holo.
Holo looks defeatedly at Zani.
Does anyone else know?
Holo doesn't answer.
Holo? I need to know.
No. No, you don't. You don't need to, you just want.
His former lover, who has passed, Duque, William Billy Quibito, returns to help him. This piece was harmed by backlighting, so it was difficult for the actors to be seen, and the fact 2 of the cast were still on book. So it gave the feeling of a reading, not a performance. A general note to playwrights: not all are guilty of this, but more than I want to point out specifically. Only read stage directions when the actors cannot do them. It's called acting, not talking. Also, when using virtual backgrounds, get green screens. They stabilize the image and make the work look more professional. Finally, it's a good idea to equalize all the cameras so the quality of the video is equalized. It was clear some had higher quality cameras than others. These are minor quibbles, however. Overall, the program was quite excellent. You can see these 6 plays on Creative Lab Hawaii's Facebook page at the Q&A after the plays with the playwrights, directors, and actors is also highly instructive. I would be interested in seeing full-length plays by these playwrights, especially Ms. Marshall, Cataluna, McEwen, and Mr. Okinaka. Well, that's Curtain Call from a Distance for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ahui ho.